The Roman Empire was renowned for its military prowess, and a significant aspect of this was its development and use of siege weaponry. These siege engines were crucial in the Romans' ability to conquer and defend fortified cities and structures. The ballista was a powerful ancient missile weapon resembling a large crossbow. It was designed to shoot large arrows or bolts, and sometimes stones, at enemy fortifications or troops. The ballista operated on the principles of torsion, using twisted skeins of sinew or hair to store energy. The weapon consisted of two arms, which were drawn back under tension, and then released to hurl the projectile. Ballistae were used both in offensive sieges to break enemy lines and fortifications, and in defense to repel attackers. The onager was a type of Roman catapult, also using torsion power, but instead of shooting bolts, it primarily launched stones or incendiary materials. It had a single arm with a sling at the end, which was pulled back and released to hurl its payload. The onager was named after the wild donkey onager, due to its powerful kick. It was particularly effective against walls and towers, causing significant structural damage. The scorpion was a smaller and more portable torsion-powered artillery piece. It functioned similarly to the ballista, but was designed for rapid, repeated firing. The scorpion was used to fire bolts with deadly precision, often targeting enemy soldiers or lightly fortified positions. Its mobility allowed it to be deployed in various battlefield scenarios, offering versatility in both offense and defense. Siege towers were large, mobile structures that allowed Roman soldiers to scale enemy walls. These towers were constructed with multiple levels, each capable of holding troops. They were often covered in protective materials to shield soldiers from enemy arrows and projectiles. Siege towers would be rolled up to the walls, and bridges or gangplanks would be dropped to allow the troops to storm the fortifications. They were especially effective in breaching high and well-defended walls. Battering rams were heavy beams, often with a metal head, used to break through gates or walls. These rams were typically suspended from a framework to maximize the force of the impact. The framework, often covered to protect the soldiers operating the ram, would be rolled up to the enemy fortifications, where the ram would be swung repeatedly against the structure until it broke through. Battering rams were crucial in opening breaches in fortifications for Roman soldiers to exploit. In addition to the aforementioned engines, the Romans used protective structures like the vinia, a type of portable shelter, to shield troops from enemy fire as they approached walls. The vinii were wooden frames covered with wickerwork or hides. Furthermore, Roman soldiers used the testudo, tortoise, formation, where they would lock their shields together to create a protective cover, allowing them to advance toward enemy positions while minimizing casualties. Roman siege warfare combined these weapons with meticulous planning and engineering. Siege engineers, known as fabri, played a crucial role in the construction and deployment of these machines. Roman armies would surround a fortified city, cutting off supplies and reinforcements, and then methodically position their siege engines to maximize effectiveness. They would use the ballistae and scorpions to eliminate enemy defenders on the walls, the onagers to create breaches, and the battering rams and siege towers to launch direct assaults. The Romans also employed psychological tactics, such as displaying the power of their siege engines to intimidate defenders and force surrenders. In prolonged sieges, they would build circumvallation and contravallation lines, fortified lines around the besieged city to prevent escape and reinforcement, respectively. Overall, Roman siege weaponry and techniques were sophisticated for their time and played a pivotal role in the expansion and defense of the Roman Empire. These innovations in military engineering allowed the Romans to successfully besiege and capture heavily fortified cities, demonstrating their strategic and tactical superiority.